Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Success Mastery TV and Podcast. I am your host, Chadi Bazzi, and this is episode number 60. And today I am going to be talking to you about, a very uncommon topic, one that is so very important, and it is my belief that doing what I'm going to teach you to do today can and will increase your odds of converting any appointment you go on by at least 80%. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. And as you know by now, I love to begin each and every single podcast episode by asking you at least one question to help get your thinking in the right direction. So here goes the question. What do you think is more important? This is going to be like a multiple choice A and B answer. So what do you think is more important? A, what happens during a listing appointment, or B, what happens before the appointment begins? Let me ask that question again. What do you think is more important? What happens during a listing appointment, or what happens before the listing appointment begins? For some, this is a tricky question. But think about it. There's really nothing tricky about it because you either fall into category A or category B. So let's dissect both real quick so you can follow along with me. And we will begin with B here for the dissection. B. All right. So you take each and every single appointment. Okay. You take each and every appointment very seriously because you know you must. And you know that people are counting on you to show up and be at your very best. So that's the B person. Okay. A is the person who just sets the appointment, goes on the appointment, and you do your best while you are there. And sometimes you win by getting the contract signed, and sometimes you don't. Now, one thing I know for a fact is person B, the one who has a process that they follow before the appointment, is the one who converts more of his or her appointments into contracts. Why? Well, because they are prepared. So I have a formula that I personally use and I teach my clients to follow as well. And it works like a charm, and I'm going to share the process with you today. So I am going to show you exactly what I use to do before what I'm going to do before each seller appointment. And so we're going to use the seller scenario here to demonstrate the process to you. And you can model the same exact steps for working with buyers because they all work the same. All right, so and it's basically a 3-step process, and in step number 3 there's a couple of different steps. So when we combine it all together, it's like 4 or 5 steps, etc. So here goes. Number 1, have listing package ready. Have listing package ready. Okay, I'm willing to bet that 95+% of you out there do not have a prepared listing package. A prepared listing package that has everything inside of it minus one thing. And it is the one thing that is going to change from appointment to appointment to appointment to appointment, and that is the comparative market analysis. Okay, so what a lot of you out there do is when you set the appointment, you go there and you try to put this package together from the A to the Z. Well, having to do that process over and over and over again, it's a very overwhelming process. Okay, it's very frustrating, etc. So step number 1 is have your listing packages ready such that when you have an appointment, you can, with ease of mind, with precise focus, can sit down and put together a very powerful comparative market analysis. You stick it inside your listing package and you are done and ready to go. So that's step number 1 in preparation, in developing the discipline of pre-appointment preparation. Step number 2, know everything you possibly can about the neighborhood, okay? About the schools, about the parks, about the shopping center, about the home, and even the seller. Look, if you set an appointment with a seller, they're expecting an expert to come into the home. So if you cannot answer a question or two about the neighborhood, if you don't know what school district that property falls into, and you have to ask the seller, then you're killing your odds of your expert positioning. The parks in the neighborhood, the shopping centers in the neighborhood, the freeways, etc., the home, everything about the home you possibly can find out and know everything in advance, and as much as you possibly can, know as much as you possibly can about the seller as well too, because the more you know about them, the more likely you are able to influence them. Okay, so that's step number 2. Know everything you can about the neighborhood, the schools, the parks, shopping center, the home, the seller, etc. All right, so those are 2 very easy steps, very common steps. Let's get into where the magic really happens. Okay, this is something that, I'd say about 9 out of 10 people that I speak to and ask them if they do anything like what I'm about to share with you right now, the answer is always no. All right, so this is what happens from the time that you get in your car till the time that you get to the front door of the home. And this is very, very, very critical, very, very powerful, and will make a huge, profound difference for you in how you show up. So I'm going to walk you through the process of exactly what I used to do. On the way to the listing appointment. Okay, on the way to the listing appointment, I used to begin by number 1, doing affirmations. Why am I doing affirmations? Well, so I can reprogram my mind to believe exactly whatever it is that I want to believe on the way to the appointment. I used to do affirmations like, I am a great listing agent. I am a great listing agent. People trust me. People love to work with me. Okay, people enjoy the process that I take them through. Okay, who I am is an expert in my field. People can see that and they instinctively hire me immediately without my even requesting their signature on the contract. So look what I am doing to my mind. I am brainwashing myself to believe that who I am is someone who is very powerful, someone who is an excellent at listing property, someone who people love and trust and enjoy working with, etc. So this is critically important. And I know some of you dismiss affirmations like, just a bunch of words. Yeah, well, guess what? Your whole entire listing presentation is made up of words that you are verbalizing externally. And what's even more powerful than the words that are coming out of your mouth out loud are the words that are going on in your mind silently between you and yourself. Okay, so I would do affirmations. I'd pump myself up. So that's the first thing I'd do, get myself revved up by doing some affirmations. Then there was a select group of people that I would call on the way to the appointment. People who I knew would make me feel good about who I am because they are very powerful people, like-minded people. And I would call them up. Like, for example, I'd call up my buddy Vinny. I'd call up Danny. I'd call up Kevin, etc. I'd call him up and I'd be like, hey, I'm going on a listing appointment. And then, Vinny will say something like, man, you are a rock star. You're going to get that appointment, etc. And even if we didn't talk about the listing appointment, our conversation is always one that is positive, one that's always impactful, and one that makes me feel good. So look, we've done 2 things so far. I'm doing affirmations and I'm speaking to people that make me feel good about myself. There is still a number 3 that I'm going to teach you. But even if we stopped right here, if even just these 2 things happen for you on your way to your appointment, do you think you're going to show up a little bit differently? Do you think you're going to show up a little bit more powerful, charismatic, etc.? You better believe you would. You better believe you would. And how you show up is gonna translate into how you present. So if you show up weak, guess what? You're gonna most likely put on a weak listing presentation and not get the appointment. If you show up feeling good, then you're going to put on a good listing presentation. Now, here's the thing. If you show up feeling powerful, you're going to put on a powerful listing presentation and you are going to increase your odds greatly of getting a contract signed. All right, so what's the final step? The final step is a visualization, what I used to do. So I used to get there a little bit early and I used to park like a block away from the home. And I'd sit down in my vehicle and I'd close my eyes. I'd center myself. I'd take a couple of deep breaths, hold them in as long as I possibly can, exhale slowly. And I would envision in my mind, I would visualize myself pulling up and parking inside of their home, in front of their home. I'd visualize myself walking up to the door. I visualize myself knocking on the door. I visualize the couple opening the door for me. Okay. And as they open the door, they welcome me in. Okay. They welcome me in with a smile, with a nice firm handshake. They're very grateful that I am there. They're smiling. They give me a tour around the property. The property looks good. We're totally connected from moment number 1. They feel good about my presence. I feel good about their home. Okay, and then we sit down somewhere in their home. I usually visualize ourselves sitting in the kitchen, and then we're sitting in the kitchen and we're going over the listing presentation. They're very focused. They're hanging on to every word that is coming out of my mouth. They feel my power. They're excited I'm over there. They're nodding their head. They're in agreement with me. They're looking at each other and smiling, like giving that gesture like they made the right decision by having me over there. They're engaged. They're asking me questions. I'm answering questions. And then I see myself towards the end of the listing presentation. They are signing the contract. I see them walking me out the door. I see myself getting in the car. I see myself picking up the phone and calling up everyone I called on the way to the listing appointment to let them know that who I am is a rock star who just took that listing. That's all going on in my head prior to going on that listing appointment. Wow. You know what? I just recorded this whole entire session right now with my eyes closed, and I was visualizing everything that I just said to you as true as it's actually happening. Wow, I feel good. I feel good. And guess what? That's exactly how I used to feel every time I do this visualization prior to going on the appointment. Look, I want you to begin to do the same thing. I want you to dismiss any belief that you have that this will not work for you. I want you to take this on. I want you to try this on. I promise you, you are going to show up a little bit more magnetically, a little bit more powerfully, a little bit more charismatic, and your overall odds of taking that listing is going to be enhanced by 1,000%. So look, that is it. It's very simple. It's very easy to do and makes a huge difference. So I want you to take that on. I want you to take that on, take it on, and then come back and leave a comment right below this video and let me know, okay, what that experience was like for you. And if you're someone who's actually tried this before, comment below the video and let me know exactly what your response was like, exactly what kind of results you were able to produce. All right, so this is it for today. Take this on, develop the habit, develop the discipline of pre-appointment preparation. Makes life easier, makes your business more profitable. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video in just a couple of days. Take care. Bye-bye.